We're in the middle of the jungle here. It's raining in the background and you might hear some birds and some monkeys and stuff. What just happened here this weekend?
Christoph is back on the road. If you listen to our China episodes, you'll remember that he went around the country exploring what the nomad scene looks like there, from Shenzhen and Shanghai to Chengdu and Dali. This time, he's in India. More specifically, he's in the middle of the jungle near Dandeli, at a place called Jungli The Nomad Village, attending the very first India Nomad Festival. Jungli is not really a hotel and it's not really a resort. Their own website describes it as an exclusive learning residence. 150 acres of co-living, villas and retreat venues in the rainforests of South India. Or as they put it, where Wi-Fi meets wildlife. Jungli was founded by Divi Ashay, or Divi, also known as the Audio Nomad. You might know his work because Divi is the man behind the music you're hearing in the background and the whole audio branding of this podcast.
You want massage?
And if you've been with us for a while, you might remember that he was also a guest back in episode 37 when we met in Chiang Mai.
No hair?
But in this episode, Christoph sits down with Geetika, or Geet, Jungli's marketing manager and tribe queen. And before we get into the full conversation, here's a taste of what's coming up. You'll hear Geetika explain why this weekend matters for India's nomad scene.
This was India's first digital nomad festival that took place here.
You'll hear Bhati, Jungli's head of food, talk about why meals aren't just meals in a place like this.
So definitely food is a social glue.
You'll also meet Mayur from Nomad Gao, talk about the new energy he sees among Indian nomads.
I can see a lot of fresh energy, a lot of new Indians coming in, exploring this.
Mohit from another co-living space, Ran Guaga, describes what might be the most underrated luxury for remote workers.
Also, our favorite activity for our guests is to do nothing. So you could just sleep on a hammock and do absolutely nothing.
And you'll hear from Samisha, who attended the festival with Vishek while they were on their honeymoon. Discover a nomad world she didn't know existed.
As an Indian, I really didn't know that this world existed.
So from the monsoon rain and jungle sounds to co-living, community, food, for safety, and India's growing place on the nomad map. My name is Palabo, and I'm handing it over to Christoph Huebner. Welcome to the Nomad Summit Podcast, episode 57, Jungli The Nomad Village in India, inside India's first digital nomad festival.
Hello. Welcome.
But a lot happened here this weekend, right? This was India's first digital nomad festival that took place here. We got legends from all around the country, a few from the world. And we successfully hosted India's first digital nomad festival at India's first digital nomad village.
You say we. Who is we and who are you?
Well, we is the entire Jungli family, every single person from the crew. And I am Geetika. I'm the marketing manager at Jungli. Basically, my job here is to convince people around the world to come move to the jungle. And it worked beautifully, if I may say so.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is an audio podcast only.
Yes.
You are acting like you were in front of a camera, body language, this expression. We've seen that also on stage here this weekend. You held an amazing talk.
Thank you so much. This was the first time I've done something like this. After my school and college. Absolutely. I'm not even kidding. After my school and college, like where I hosted a few events, I was a part of debates and all things. This was the first time I've done anything like that. And I was kind of giddy, hoping like it goes well. And I was honestly nervous about all the things that I wanted to share, landing right with the crowd. And it did. It totally landed.
But that's just your presence. I mean, the stage is where you belong.
Thank you so much. You made me so shy.
What was your talk about?
So I spoke about building a life that kind of resonates with your real purpose. Because here in India, largely a huge amount of people, a checklist, right? Like you're born, you study really well, you get a job, get married, have kids, have EMIs that you can show off.
What's an EMI?
EMI is those payments, right? Like those installments that you keep paying for a house that you want to buy. You get a loan from a bank and then you have to pay the bank back. So
a mortgage. So that was that was one of the things that I noticed here as one of the very few foreigners. Mm-hmm. There were around 50 people here this weekend and like 3 white guys.
Absolutely.
There was Pavi, who is well known to our podcast listeners because we had an episode with him a while ago. Mm-hmm. There was Francois, a French guy, and there was me. Absolutely. And there was a lot of localized lingo here, like EMI and other things. Where I thought like, that must be something very Indian here. Everyone understands, but me?
Oh, well. I'll explain it to you if you want. Basically, the whole point was to put India on the map for digital nomads, right? Because of the branding problem that India faces.
What is that branding problem for our listeners here who have never before considered traveling to India?
Yeah, like India gets a reputation of not being very safe for women to travel in, and also not safe in general. Then people only know a very few hotspots. Like if you ask anybody what they know about India, Goa might come up, the mountains might come up, Kerala a little bit. But there is so much more that this country has to offer. And we have the places for it. We have the potential for an infrastructure as well. And like you might have met all the co-living operators that actually showed up, Odd Table, Ran Guhagar, Mad Packers, 360 Agonda, all of these places are building that safe space for people to land in.
And the beauty is that you build them together. It's not just like everyone is building something in their own village. So that was one key takeaway for me from this event here this weekend. Mm-hmm. At first, like when you address safety for females, there was a big topic here. Everyone is not only working towards that, to improving it. There was also a pretty cool scientist who gave some very interesting background and bigger picture about his findings. Mm-hmm. But also the crowd was very diverse. I think it felt like it was about 50-50.
It was close to that, yeah. Initially, even we were thinking about the diversity and all, but the final turnout was pretty great. We had a good amount of women here, both attending and contributing, and the same goes for men. So that was amazing. It did not feel like it was more guys and very few women. And all the women also who came were either travelers or remote workers or wanted to be somebody who can travel while working, right? Like nobody wanted to live like a tree, basically.
And your program really reflected that diversity as well. So there was a little bit of contemporary entrepreneurial topics like vibe coding and AI. There was, I think, a full day dedicated to nomad accommodation, like from a hospitality perspective. People who run places or have experience from that side.
Yeah.
And then this is like, you brought people together from all over India with very different projects catering digital nomads. And actually, I found it quite interesting because it seemed like this is like the OGs of the industry that know each other for years or decades. But most of them have met here for the first time in person.
Correct.
So there was a very magic moment to see how people, like players in the same industry who have coexisted for a long time and have maybe followed each other in social media, all of a sudden we're standing face to face in front of each other and we're like, oh, wow, you're real. You're the guy from Instagram.
Exactly. So up till now, there were all of these people who were kind of doing something similar to what you were also doing. And you had known of them, but now you really know them. That's, I think, one of the major shifts that we've been able to kind of, bring together here at Jungli. Because like you said, you're the guy from Instagram, right? So there was so many of these kind of people whose journey you would have followed, who you would have probably been like, okay, let's see how he's building his community or he's building his co-living, right? But here you actually got to sit down with them, have your meals, go for your walks, go for the pool parties and all of those things, right? So you really got to bond here. And that, I think, was
you mentioned
beautiful.
some interesting touch points or some interesting keywords like pool party, go for a walk. Quite a unique feature of this event here is that everyone lived on premise. It's not like a conference somewhere in a village or in a city that happens at one venue and everyone lives somewhere else. Here it is a little village in the forest. So people were living, I think, 4 different buildings, but all of them in a very walkable distance from each other.
3 co-livings and 4 villas fully sold out. That was That was like a personal win as well, because that's something that we've worked towards, right? Like, because it's in the name, it's Jungli The Nomad Village. It really felt like the village, in a very long time.
But what the name or this slogan does not yet give away is that you're also being catered for with breakfast, lunch and dinners. So it's not only that people live here on premise, but they come together for their meals.
Yeah.
And meals here, it was even a separate topic in the program. Our head of food here, Bharti, shared her vision of how, like, food as the social glue. I think, was the title of her talk.
And that idea, food as the social glue, came up more than once. At Jungli, meals aren't just something you squeeze in between talks. They're a part of the whole rhythm of the place. Breakfast, lunch and dinner became these natural meeting points where strangers sit down together and slowly start feeling like a community. Christoph also caught up with Bharti, who's head of food at Jungli. And for her, this was very much part of the mission.
I feel like people were gathering around the fire when there was nothing. There was no kitchens and nothing was there. And until now, people come together to eat on the same table and then connect with each other. So definitely food is a social glue.
And it sounds like that's your true mission here at Jungli.
Yeah, that's my true mission, because I feel like then you don't need extra elements. Like that's very less required when you sort out your food to connect your community, because 3 times you are eating and 3 times you are connecting with people on the same table.
What's your impression of this event here this weekend?
It's really nice. Like a lot of people are coming from everywhere and they're sharing their thoughts, how they are building their properties, how they are interested in tourism. And this is something that I am also interested in. And I discovered travel in 2016 through my dad. And I'm really glad of that. And I love when people talk about traveling.
We are now a little bit more than halfway through this event.
Yeah.
What surprised you most so far?
Surprise was that everybody is happy with the food.
You didn't expect that?
I didn't expect, because somehow if you are like hosting 50 people, I always expected at least 5 of them will say like, oh, it's too spicy, it's not my taste, I want some dal chawal in the lunch and salads, it's like bothering me or something. But nobody said that, so it's surprising. I was anyway not targeting for 100%. My target was 90%, but it's good when you get 100% result.
Pretty cool. And regarding the people that came here and the program and non-food related stuff, what did you like the most?
I definitely like this crowd. This is very nice, like engaging crowd that's like interested in something to build something new. It's like very young energy in the house, and our team is a little old energy, but I am liking this young energy.
Pretty beautiful. So definitely a good place to come for some remote work. So if you're listening to this and wondering where to go next, and maybe you haven't ever been to India, maybe because you're female and we're afraid, this is a good place to spend some time with good internet connection, not too stable electricity, but there are backups.
UPS, uninterrupted power supply.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uninterrupted power supply system, as well as a generator at the big house. And so if there's no other program here, definitely a good place to come, even with a small team. If you're a startup, a business, like a remote team of 4 or 5 people, and you look for a place for a workation or an offsite, that's a good place. But I assume as this first event here went above and beyond all wild dreams, I guess you're doing it again.
Oh, absolutely. Well, mostly so far, because we are still kind of coming down from the event, the high of this beautiful gathering. We are going to do this once every year for sure. And let's see, if things change, maybe twice a year.
Oh.
Who knows?
Oh.
Let's see what our community says, what our community votes on. In fact, one interesting point, this time as well, we got a lot of interest from a lot of people, both as contributors and attendees. But by design, we kind of wanted to cap it at 50 people max, because this is the first time it's ever happening here, right? We are organizing this. The land, the whole jungle came to life for the first time in a very long time. So we also wanted to keep it cozy. We also wanted to keep it with all the people who we've known, or like the new people who really want to build a life of freedom and flexibility, who want to explore the world. So which is also why we kept the gathering short and small, basically. Maybe next year we'll do it for a week.
Yeah, it was a great pressure test here, pushing things to their capacity.
Yes.
But definitely something you can build on. And I'm pretty sure once
100%.
more social media is out, once I've seen you've recorded testimonials, there has been a lot of recording.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you will flood the space for the next couple of weeks and months.
We cannot wait. And the best part is we've been able to find our tribe, across the world, because not everybody understands the concept or appreciates the space and all the offerings, right? Like you said, food is included, your stay, your taxes, all of those extras. But the main thing is the community, right? The community is what just powers this entire place, and you've seen that up close and personal. So,
yeah, I've seen a lot of community action happening. I think I contributed a little bit myself, but also yesterday evening I ran away. I had my busy day to catch up after the conference. I was sitting in the co-working, and then I saw that they brought up stuff for karaoke.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I need to run. I need an evening of me time to come down from all this.
And there's no dearth of space. You've got 150 acres of it.
There is enough place for me time as well as for sticking together and having a karaoke night or play Catan, which has become my recent passion.
Quite the Catan legend around here,
We'll come back to Geetika in a moment, because Christoph also wanted to understand the bigger idea here. Jungli is one place, yes, but the festival also brought together people from other parts of India who are building co-living spaces, co-working communities, and safe landing spots for nomads. In a minute, you'll get to meet two of them, Mayur from Nomad Gao and Mohit from Ran Guhagar. And yes, one of them has built a place where one of the recommended activities is simply doing nothing. Before we get to that, I'd like to tell you about the next Nomad Summit. It's happening in Estonia in a couple of weeks from July 3rd. At first you might wonder why Nomad Summit chose Tallinn, Estonia for their remote work edition. But actually, it makes a lot of sense. Estonia has been ahead of most countries when it comes to digital nomad systems, remote entrepreneurship, and online business infrastructure. You can basically run a company from anywhere in the world with their e-residency setup. I just got it myself. And they've spent years building systems designed for freelancers, founders, and remote workers. So the event isn't just happening in Tallinn randomly. The location is actually part of the story. And the summit is leaning heavily into practical knowledge, remote hiring, freelancing, AI tools, remote business structure, productivity, and how to build something sustainable long term. So if you're already working remotely or trying to move in that direction, this could be one of those events where you leave with actual ideas you can use. Go to nomadsummit.com to find out more. And now back to India. First up is Mayur Santake. He runs Nomad Gao, a co-living space designed for digital nomads, and he's been on this path since 2015, which, as he points out, was very early for an Indian digital nomad. Here's Christoph with Mayur and Jungli.
It was wonderful. I met interesting people. There were some very good sessions around nomadism, AI, running an operating system for a place. I met a lot of old friends as well who happen to be nomadic. And for us nomads, we often nomading, so we don't get to meet each other. So it was a nice change to...
Yeah, you were introduced as the legendary OG digital nomad from India. And when we then connected on LinkedIn, it turned out we have 100 mutual connections there. So you've been around for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky to start my digital nomad journey back in 2015. As an Indian, it was way too early. Pre-COVID, very few, I think handful people worked remotely and even lesser adopted to digital nomad lifestyle. I was one of them. And then post-COVID is when a lot of Indians started working remotely and adopting to this lifestyle.
What was most surprising for you this weekend here at Jungli?
The place is beautiful, but I can see a lot of fresh energy, a lot of new Indians coming in, exploring this. I heard a lot of conversations between people talking about, oh, this is cool. I also want to adopt to this lifestyle. And I think the mission with which I started Nomad Gaon back in 2019, I somehow feel is fulfilled when more Indians get into digital nomadism.
Thank you
Christoph
very much.
also spoke with Mohit, who runs Ran Guhagar, a co-living space on the west coast of India between Mumbai and Goa. Mohit had just given a talk about building this place from scratch. And what's interesting is how open everyone seemed to be. These are people who could have seen each other as competitors, but instead they were sharing lessons, mistakes and ideas.
You were one of the speakers, and I just listened to your talk about the co-living that you built from scratch yourself. So it's quite interesting to hear that how willingly you share all your experience in front of this crowd here.
Yeah, I think I felt really safe. Also because I've been here now for 6 days and I know almost each and every person. I felt really safe being part of a group of people that not just is listening to what I'm saying, but also understands what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. And that makes it more comfortable for me to share what I want to.
How do you like the event so far?
I think it's been really nice. I think it's been really comfortable. There's been no pressure on attendees or speakers. It's been a great place to network and meet people at your own pace and also live through. So the interesting thing is that we're just not visiting for a couple of hours in a cafe in a city, but there is also an intention to connect beyond the talks and workshops and everything that's being held. And whoever is attending the events is attending it with intention. So
it's the first time that something like this happens in India,
Yeah,
right?
it's the first time something like this is happening. And I think it's fabulous to see this kind of bunch of people over here. And it's really amazing. There is a community because I also feel that everyone who's here is having the same issues because everyone is doing it individually in their own bubble. But to get together and meet like-minded people who understand what we're building and not just understand, but respect. And there are so many now potential collaborations that have opened up. So I see a lot of benefits by just being here and also just having great time with cool people.
And with your talk, you probably also acquired at least one future guest, which is myself.
Yeah, we'd be really glad. Yeah,
It sounded
I will keep the
amazing.
katan on the side when you come. Yeah,
Yeah, it sounded amazing. What's the name of the place?
Yeah.
Where is it?
The name of the place is Ran, Raan. It's in a village called Guhagar. That's spelled Guhagar. It's on the west coast of Maharashtra. It's right in the middle of Mumbai and Goa, which are two big centers. And yeah, we're close to a really beautiful white sand beach with dense jungles, rivers, waterfalls. We have good high-speed Wi-Fi. We have multiple spaces for you to work out from. And also our favorite activity for our guests is to do nothing. So you could just sleep on a hammock and do absolutely nothing.
Nothing with high-speed Wi-Fi. Perfect. We'll put all the details in the show notes below.
Please do. Thank you.
And that idea, not building in isolation, brings us back to Geetika and the next big thing of Jungli's vision, the Jungli Trail.
But it's not only about this place. So with all the other hosts of places around, like Mohit with his, I think, Ran, and others, you are building a India Nomad Trail.
Yes, absolutely. That kind of comes back to not building in isolation, but building in public, because that's how you grow faster. That's how you go further, right? If you're building in isolation, it's just you sitting with your problems, sitting with your issues, trying to solve it all on your own. But if you look around, if you just look at how other people are doing similar things, it's so much easier to kind of, just be like, hey, Mayank, for example, I need help. How did you solve this? And we've been so lucky to find people who are collaborative and not at all competitive, because our target market is digital nomads. Nobody can keep them in one place. We are not trying to fight for that either.
But I want to know more about that concept. I mean, the term Nomad Trail isn't new. There was already an initiative in Europe.
Okay.
Shout out to Danny in Ireland, who coined the phrase for a project that was taking a digital nomad group trip through Europe. So going from one co-living to the next with a train or a bus, and then explored several countries, several places all across Europe, and they call it the Nomad Trail.
Right.
What you mean with Nomad Trail in India is something different.
Yeah, so the Jungli Trail basically is finding places that have similar values, right? Largely have good internet, kind of nature-based, have an existing community, and are working in some way or the other to make it a safe space for women. Like, let's say, for example, pickups. So anytime anybody, a single or solo female traveler is coming to Jungli, we make sure that she already knows that she's going to be picked up at the airport. As soon as you come out of any airport in India, there are some 50 people.
So you're sending your own pickup artists?
Yes, we're sending our own pickup artists. And
With
she
a
already
vehicle.
knows what the person looks like, what their name is, and even the driver who's picking up the traveler, they are holding a placard that says Jungli. So that if you're in a new country, if you're landing in India for the first time, you're not overwhelmed by some 50 dudes asking you if you want to take a taxi, right?
Yeah, I had that in Bangalore when I arrived and was sure I will take an Uber.
Correct.
And on the way of trying to find that Uber station, there were so many guys coming to me like, no, don't take Uber. It has waiting time of 1 hour. Come with me. And I was like, nope, I first want to see that Uber place. Mm-hmm. And there, the Ubers were waiting in a row. There was 0 waiting time.
Exactly.
You go there and go there right away. But so they lie in your face.
Yeah, well, everybody wants to earn some money here. So.
But back to the Nomad Trail.
Yes.
So what I've seen here were some flyers with a map that was showing what's on that trail.
Correct.
Can you translate that into audio?
All right. So imagine you're coming to Jungli for the first time and you want to know where else can I go? What other place? Because Jungli, honestly, is India on easy mode. That's what we call it. So,
India on easy mode.
We'll pick you up. We'll keep you safe. We'll feed you. We'll take care of you. We'll give you a community to chill with. So all of that is taken care of. Now, if you want to go explore further, currently because we are in the, phase 1, we've just launched phase 1 of the Jungli Trail. We've got 2 partners, both in Goa, one in North and one in South. In North, we've got Odd Table in Mandre. And in South, we've got 360 Agonda in Agonda. So basically...
So these are co-livings as well, like other places.
These are also co-livings, also with excellent Wi-Fi, which is like essential for any nomad to work out of. And a thriving community of their own. They also are extremely nature-based properties. And if anybody is here at Jungli, they already have 2 other safe places to go explore. So that way you end up going to Goa. You do South Goa, you go to North Goa, and then you're already 3 places in. You've already explored 3 places in India. Now, when we expand the trail, maybe we go up north a little bit. Maybe Bangalore is one of the spaces as well where we are looking for a partner for the Jungli Trail, right? So that way, the point is to kind of unlock India bit by bit in a very safe manner. And Divi, he has already gone and stayed in all of these places. So he knows firsthand what the experience is going to be like for anybody who comes there. Right? We're not just taking partners like that. We're exploring the places and shortlisting them.
Yeah, I mean, with Divi's recommendation, I had a good soft landing in Bangalore myself before I came here. I was there for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. The first week I was in the former Draper startup house, now Founder startup house. That was a lot of community.
Right.
And then the second week I was in a place called the Hub Bangalore.
Correct.
That was less of a community, but also a very professionally organized space. So India has a lot on the plate.
Yes.
And I think now with this year's event here, out of 50 people, 47 Indians, even though from all over the place, and India is large, only 3 foreigners. I'm pretty sure next year you will have a bunch more foreigners here for your event.
Yours hoping. I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I think once the word is spreading from here and people see and hear what they can experience here, everyone wants to come.
I hope so. And I wish everybody finds Jungli and we are able to give them time back. We are able to give them a good community and some insanely beautiful forest views to just do what they really feel like doing, what they really want to do.
Before Christoph wraps up the conversation with Geetika, we get 2 more snapshots from the festival. One is from behind the scenes, the visual side of Jungli, and the other is from 2 attendees who came to the festival while they were on their honeymoon and ended up finding something that felt very different from a normal vacation. First, Christoph speaks with Arjun, who's been working with Jungli on design, photography, posters, maps, and the whole visual feel of the place.
So you're the mind behind all that beautiful corporate design here. Yeah, that's so on point. And especially if you've seen that beforehand online and in the flyers, and then you arrive here, you really feel how that breathes the story of the place.
It does. So that's what I'm trying to capture also. So it resonates with, how it's in the picture too. So I wanted to look, so whenever a new person takes up a flyer and sees that, so I want them to get a glimpse of how this place is actually.
And you are a remote worker, like a digital nomad yourself, right?
I can't label myself as a digital nomad yet, but yeah, it's part of me right now.
How do you like the event so far? What stands out most for you?
Events were majorly the talks about AI. So since I'm also working, a part of it is remote. So I want to expand my skill set to other domains other than photography and design. So I think AI is helping me in that to understand more concepts, much more grasp and easier. Then the talk about branding was really good. So it actually helps me also go back to my roots and revisit a couple of principles and stuffs related to graphic design. So I think that would be helpful.
And how about the overall concept? Not only the talks, but side events, food.
The katan was really good. The food is definitely good. That's one part that makes Jungli feel home. And definitely a lot of board games and music.
And finally, Christoph meets Vishek and Samisha, an Indian couple on their honeymoon. They both work in ways that allows them to travel, and they came to Jungli curious about the whole nomad world. What they found was not just talks and networking, but a small, intentional community.
And you guys both work remotely? You're digital nomads?
Currently we are on a vacation, but our work also allows us to be a digital nomad.
Yeah, able to travel across the world, and I also make content creation. So the more I travel, the more it helps me.
Where do you guys come from?
We are from India. I'm native to a state named Rajasthan, and my husband is native to Delhi, the capital.
How did you hear about this Nomad Fest? What brought you here?
So we heard it from the founder of the place, Jungli itself. He's a friend of ours. And what brought us here is to meet like-minded people, to see what the nomad world has to offer, because we are currently in a place of transition and to try more opportunities. Yeah, we met amazing people and got to see what all is going on in the nomad world.
What is your impression of the concept of this event? How do you like it? And what do you like most? What stands out most for you?
So what stands out for me is the fact that, first of all, the things here are very much curated. So the crowd is filtered. It's intimate, but at the same time, each and everybody that I'm talking to has a very powerful story to share. And as an Indian, I really didn't know that this world existed. So to know and to see that there is so much out there, outside our country also, and to be able to work globally just by sitting here is something that got me excited, and I'm looking forward to connecting to those opportunities.
What left the biggest impression on you here so far, Vishish?
I think what I've realized is that I've always been nomadic by heart, which was great for me. And I really loved how the staff everywhere is being so respected by everyone. And likewise, they also reciprocate the same. So it's much different from a typical vacation that we would have in some other area, some resorts or hotels, or even typical hostels. A lot different from that, where everyone is holding space for everybody else. And that's a nice self-sufficient community. I love that.
And then, just as Christoph was getting ready to wrap it up, Geetika turns the microphone around and asked him what he thought of the whole experience. That gives us Christoph's own field report from Jungli. The nature, the rooms, the people, the parties, the work, and yes, the sounds of rain on the roof in the middle of the jungle.
Can I just ask you one quick question?
Okay.
How was your experience? You've been to so many nomad festivals. What did you think about it?
At first, I don't compare.
Okay.
Especially also because I'm biased. I'm running an event myself.
100%.
But definitely, this was a beautiful experience. I love the hospitality here. generally, I really love very much to be out in the nature. And I mean, you can't be more in the nature than this. So I'm pretty sure I have intentionally not put up the noise cancelling for the background noise here in this microphone. If we're just silent for a moment, you hear the nature all over. So it is a little bit of dripping rain here in the forest. It's cicadas, I guess.
Yeah.
It's birds. It's everything here. And you can walk around. I did not see the crocs down by the river, but I'm pretty sure I saw a snake around.
Right.
It's just all here. But no worries, you're still safe. And I loved my first room, so I've moved rooms in the middle of my 2 weeks with a beautiful view down on the pool in the big house. But my second room here is another house that you call Soch, which means something in Hindi, right?
Yeah, Soch is a Hindi word that stands for thinking, ideas in like different contexts. It means different things.
Nice. Yeah. So my room was on the top floor of the building as the only room up there. Mm-hmm. And for all the time I had the windows open, just like the mosquito nets closed. So there was, especially in the evenings, there was a nice breeze going through the room. I have never put on the AC, and I've only sometimes put on the fan when I was sitting at the desk. But at night and stuff, it was all off. And you had the sound of the nature when falling asleep, when waking up in the morning, as it's under the roof. If you have the rain hitting the roof, that's such a beautiful sound to fall asleep. Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. And I haven't even started talking about the people and the community here. So at first, the hospitality team here, people like you, Geetika, and Parthi, and of course, the legend Divi taking care of everything, including the DJing. So every evening there was a nice little party, and on Sunday evening a very special one, where I won't tell more here on the podcast. Everyone was taking their phone away, a little bit like Berlin-style underground techno party, with also Pavi DJing a psytrance set, Divi as dark Divi that evening. Yeah, I definitely had a really, really good time here, and also I was quite productive and got work done.
I'm so happy about that. Thank you so much for coming. It was so nice that you actually made it. And the first conversation that you and Divi had, both of us were working there. I saw the look on his face. He was so excited. He couldn't believe it that, in one call, so many things happened. And you're actually going to be here.
I'm a man of my word, of course. And this is the beauty of location independence. If you get an invitation to somewhere in the jungle in India, and you have nothing else to do, which as a digital nomad, not in the sense like, oh, I need to be in that city, in that office or something. I decide where I want to go and when. Yes, if I say I come, here I am. And I'll be back.
Oh, I am sure you will. And I can't wait, because next time when you come, they're going to be like very different people. That's also the beauty of this place. Every time you come here, you meet such different kind of people, So you're always welcome. Please just let me know whenever you want to come, and we'll be ready to host you again.
Thank you so much. If you like this episode, share it with a friend. If you're a regular listener, leave us a review, and we'll be back in your ears next week.
This episode of the Nomad Summit Podcast was hosted by Christoph Huebner, our man on the road. The theme music was by Diviash Shay, aka Divi the Audio Nomad.
สวัสดีค่ะ
And it was produced by me, Palabo. I also run a company where I produce podcasts, so if you need some help or just want to chat about how your podcast can sound better, reach out. Find out how on radioguru.co.uk. See ya.